Warrior football. True Warrior football. True Warrior football.
You are listening to True Warrior Football Podcast with your host, Corey Kid Smith.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm your host, Corey Kid Smith, and it is a interesting time in Warrior Nation. A lot happened last week in our game against Ben Davis, and man, I really don't know how to really take where things went in this game. I think our team is at a point, midway point. We've played 5 games now. And going into last week, we're 500, 2-2. And I really felt like we were going to step our game up from our defeat to Lawrence Central from the previous week. And we were going to do some really great things on Friday night. And we were going to come away victorious at home. It was going to be a point where it was going to be a building block moment for the rest of the season. In the same way, I felt like our victory over King was going to be, and to some extent, it ended up being a big boost for us next week against North Central. But we didn't fully get there, and in the end, we ended up playing our worst game of the season. At least defensively, Defensively, it was our worst game of the season. Offense, much better from last week. Defensively is our worst game of the season. And just saying that led to us giving up the most points we've given up this season, and 42 points to our arch rival, our enemy, our nemesis, whatever you want to call them, the Ben Davis Giants. 42-28 was the final score. And really 2 scores. At times it felt like it was more than 2 scores, but it really truly only was 2 scores. But then we had moments in the game where we were a play away from tying the game up or getting us to the point where we could cover 2 scores. Didn't happen. Unfortunately, it did not happen. So let's go back, rewind it and everything. Defense came out in the first quarter with great momentum. We had 4 stops in the first quarter alone. Absolutely tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. That was phenomenal play by our defense. 4 stops. Devin Holman had a great interception. Offense kind of stalled out. Didn't really get the ball going first. They get the ball back. Ben Davis gets the ball back, and they go down and score. And as they're getting ready to kick off, I'm walking past Coach Ott on our sideline. I was like, man, I kind of got a feeling about this one, man. I feel like it's a great time for a kickoff return for a touchdown. And sure enough, now I cannot believe I called it. I literally said it was going to be a great moment for a kickoff return for a touchdown. And sure enough, Joe Walker houses one, probably 99, 98 yards. I'm not even sure how long it was, but man, it was deep and it was spectacular to watch. It truly was spectacular to watch. He made a great move getting through the hole, ran past the kicker. Kicker had no chance. Once he was within 10 yards, kicker had no chance of getting him down. And basically, it was a foot race between him and one other guy from Ben Davis to the end zone. By the time he got him, he tripped him up, and Joe basically dives into the end zone. So tie ball game, 7-7, and then defense gets another stop. Offense gets a great drive going, and my man KJ2, Keith Jackson Jr., he took a big step forward last Friday night and really took it upon himself to keep the team going in a much better way. And he proved it, man. He threw a great strike to Devin Holman. Devin makes a play, gets in the end zone, touchdown. Boom, 14-7. Yes, I love it. Let's go. End of the first quarter, we're up 14-7. We're feeling real good. We got 4 stops. We got a turnover on defense. Hey, we could be going towards something that is really, really good for us. Second quarter comes around. Offense, once again, they got the ball. Keith Jackson, KJ2, makes a great running play. 40, 50 yards. I'm not exactly sure how long it was, but man, right down the pipe, right down the middle of the field, touchdown. 21-7. Crowd's going crazy. I'm going crazy. The team's going crazy. That's the type of energy and excitement I needed. Let's go, guys. This is the Warren Central team I've been saying could be the best team in the state. We're playing great football right now. We're executing at a high level. And then, for some reason, the wheels fall out. And I don't understand why it is. I really don't understand why it is or what happened. Our second quarter versus Ben Davis, I want to say they had the ball. They may have only had the ball twice. They scored on both possessions they had. We didn't get any stops in the second quarter. I thought that was really strange, man. I'm sitting here racking my mind like, did we really just have 4 stops in 5 possessions in the first quarter? Literally, in the first quarter, we had 4 stops. You usually get 4 stops in half. We had 4 stops in the first quarter. You get 4 stops in the first quarter against a team like Ben Davis, hopefully you're up 20, 30 points. On any team, hopefully you're up big. But I still can't believe it when I say this. Is like, we had them. We had them. And then, I don't know if our guys fell asleep. They lost their composure on the field, their attention, whatever. We give up 2 fades or go routes to their guys, and boom, it's tied up 21-all at halftime. I'm like, man, you gotta be kidding me. How did this happen? Okay, halftime, 21-all. Can't do anything about the first half, second half. Hey, we get the ball, we're gonna do some good things. We're going to do some good things. We're going to drive it down. Defense is going to get a stop. You always say in a game, especially any game, really, especially when you're up, we say this against King, the score is 0-0 at half. Let's go, boys. We already won the first half. Let's win the second half. We're tied at halftime now. Let's really go out there and win this next half. That's what most teams will say to get things going for the second half. And first possession, offense, they hadn't turned the ball over all game. That ugly monster Oh, man. It reared its ugly head. And I don't know if it was a first play or second play, but we get a fumble on a pitch or a handoff to JoJo. And if he just would have fell on the ball and recovered it instead of the ball being kicked down the field, Ben Davis's guys get it, turnover on. And they're in great field position. And they turn that great field position into more points. We end up, I'm not sure if it was the next drive after that or if we got another stop. Defense finally gets another stop in the third quarter. But KJ2 ends up getting just a phenomenal run. I'm not exactly sure if that run is the best run of the season or if Rodney Johnson's touchdown run against King. One of those two is the best run, touchdown runs of the season by far. It's not even close. Both of them over 70 yards, and Keith just was incredible, man. He was incredible the whole night. Looking at his numbers and what he finished off with rushing, he had the most rushing yards of any Warren Central quarterback since a guy by the name of Dexter Taylor was playing quarterback for us, and that was 2005, so 17 years now. He ended up with 194 yards rushing on 15 carries for 2 touchdowns. Played a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game for us. So we tie up the game, 28-all. They get another bomb and then another touchdown. I'm just like, oh my God. And basically that was it. We couldn't execute offensively or defensively down the stretch to get us what we needed. And it was another week where for the fifth game in a row for our defense, we've given up a touchdown of 50-plus yards or more. Fifth game in a row where the defense should have scored a touchdown. I've already told you guys about this last week, about if you're new, I'll remind you again, against Center Grove, we would have blocked better. Lee Alexander scores a touchdown on his interception, fumble return, recovery, whatever you want to call it. Devin Holman had the pick 6 against King. JoJo could have most likely scored on his pick against North Central. Tyrone Burris should have scooped and scored against LC. And this week, I'm not exactly sure how we made a great stop, great play, forced a fumble. Aiden Davis, Tank Davis, gets a tremendous, he picks up the ball, and I want to say there's no one around him within 20 yards when he picks it up. And if you watch the NFL game this past week where the guy from the Cardinals, I think his name is Murphy, last name is Murphy, he picks up the ball in overtime and he's gone. He's gone. As soon as he picked it up, I was watching it live. As soon as he picked it up, I knew that was 6. And when 80 picked up the ball on Friday night and he's going down the field, I just knew he was getting 6 points. I knew he was getting 6. I turn around, go find the blood belt, come back. I see he had been tackled at like the 20 or 30-yard line. I'm like, what in the world happened? You know, we're all celebrating, we're all happy. Okay, we're going to get some points out of this. We're going to get something. And we get nothing. I think we ended up missing a field goal on that drive. We get nothing. Get 0 points out of it. That's the one thing I think has really hurt our team as well this year, is as many times the defense has gotten turnovers, and we got 3 of them in this game. We got 3 turnovers in this game. I want to say we've probably only scored, we've not scored on them enough. Let me just say that. We've not scored on our takeaways enough, and that is one thing that's hurting our team so much. because the other teams now, leading up into LC, when we turn the ball over, most of the times we have been very good at sudden change. That's what you usually call it when your defense is in the tent getting coached up, and then sudden change, offense fumble, defense, let's go. That's where defense has to go out there and hurry up and get on the field. Sudden change. Up until LC, we have been really good with that this year. I think we had only given up maybe a field goal and maybe 2 touchdowns up until that point. That's if the of course, doesn't really count if the other team scored a defensive touchdown. We didn't give up a defensive touchdown this week, so that's good. That's good at least. But back to what I'm saying, we got to get more points off of our turnovers that we're causing. Because like I said, the other teams that now they're getting our turnovers, and they're turning those into 6. They're going down the field. And man, I really, really hated losing to those guys. Really hated losing to those guys. You guys have known, I've talked about my love and passion for this rivalry so much. My love and passion is only equaled by the hatred I have for losing to these guys. Seeing everybody come back, seeing all the Warrior greats come back, all the Warrior legends in the stands or on the sidelines in the end zone now, come back to see the team, I love it. I hate it when those guys come back and see our team put out a poor performance. I absolutely hate that. I absolutely hate that, man. Because it's so hard. You guys do not believe how hard it is to get some of these guys to come back. Because for many years, many of these guys just didn't come back to games. They came back, they weren't felt welcome. They didn't really feel like they were a part of the program anymore. All that's over and done with. We're welcoming back people into the team. I got some great people on later in the show to talk about what's going on. But I just hate it, man, seeing our team battle so hard against them. But still at the same time, I still feel like we played our worst game of the year. Because our defense especially, played their worst game of the year. Worst game of the year by far. We ended up with 8 stops, 3 takeaways, and still gave up 42 points. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I'm trying to rack my mind. I cannot think of a time where our defense had 8 stops in a game and we still gave up 40-plus points. I've never seen that happen before. I'm looking at the guy from Ben Davis, his stats, Gotkowski, reminds me of the kicker who used to play for the Patriots, and 28 of 39. 388 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he had a better game against us than Dante Moore, the kid from King that's going to Oregon. Absolutely shredded us. 81 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. So he had over 460 yards of total offense, 5 touchdowns. 4 passing, 1 rushing himself. He made one heck of a play, though, running towards our sideline and cutting up the field. I thought that was a heck of a play. I got to give my hats off to him on that one. That was a heck of a play. But, man, it tore us to pieces. And I knew coming in that they had 2 guys, and Elijah Price, their running back, and Reese, their wide receiver, that could do some really good things. But it was this guy, Murph, that completely surprised me. 9 catches, 184, and 2 touchdowns. And then Reese went off 12 for 152 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, my God. And Price had a good one himself. What do you have? 41 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 5 catches for 35 yards. Did what he had to do. I mean, we ended up giving up 556 total yards of offense. Wow. We can't have numbers like these if we expect to be contenders. We just can't. We can't. We can't. This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Everybody on our defense knows it, especially our coaches. We got it. It's a must that we fix this. Because if we don't fix this, our goals of going any further than November 11th, don't even worry about it, regardless of where that game is. Regardless, don't even worry about it. But, I still... I saw what the team put out there. For most of the game, I saw what the team put out there, and I felt like we were much better than what we put out on the field. And maybe this week in film, guys will see, in practice, guys will recognize, hey, we're much better than what we have done the last 2 games. Much better. Much, much better. Back-to-back weeks, we scored 40 points against King and North Central. Back-to-back weeks, we can't even get to 30. We're much better than that. And I talked about rushing and running the ball last week, and this week we did much better, but most of that was from KJ2. You take him out of the equation, none of our running backs are 4 really good running backs that I really like. Rodney Johnson, Chris Jordan, Ronald Baskerville, DeMarion Harris. None of them had more than 15 yards rushing. None of them scored a touchdown. We can't have that. We can't have that. We have too many, Rodney Johnson especially, we have too many really good running backs to not have any of them not have more than 15 rushing yards for the entire game. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. Inexcusable, honestly. Inexcusable. Offensive line played much better. I got to see them get us much further than what they got. Because a lot of those late drives that we had, we weren't able to get the push, the extra yards that we needed to continue those drives. Maybe, okay, AD gets caught. Hey, you're in the red zone. We're in great position still. Let's go. Let's pound the ball. We have got great running backs. We're doing great things. Let's go. We can do this. We come back down. We block a punt. We're in great field position once again. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this. Get nothing. Both times. We must be better. We must be better because I've seen this team share a lot of their goals with each other. Everybody wants to win it for Vic. Everybody wants to win it for Jaden King, who passed away almost 4 years ago. That would have been a senior on this year's team. Everybody wants to do it for the guys that aren't here. Everybody wants to get that ring. Everybody wants to be that last team that's still standing in November. All these guys want it. But right now, what they're putting out there ain't going to get it. It's not going to get it. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. And as we are at the midway point of the season, we have to really come to the Jesus moment, figure out, hey, what is working, what's not working. We got to do that. Offense, I love that you guys, the main unit, really outside of that fumble right there, we didn't have any costly turnovers. I'll say didn't have any costly turnovers. We did turn the ball over twice, but by the time Jewel got in to replace Keith after he got sacked, it was he did what he could do, and it wasn't much. And I knew people kept saying, "Man, I think we should make a change at quarterback. Don't you think we should make a change at quarterback? Put the other guy in." No. I like Jewel. He's just not ready yet. What I've seen from KJ2 in the 4 games that he's been a starter is a guy that is determined to be the best person and best player for this team when it's needed. He gives his all. He gives his all. That's all I can ask for him. All I can ask for. He keeps it steady. Steady. Doesn't go high, doesn't go too low. Steady. I love it. We scored big touchdown. He's like, yeah, that's what we should have did. We turned the ball over. He comes back. He's in his playbook. He's looking at what happened. He's talking to the coaches. He's getting coached up. I can't say that for everybody else, unfortunately. Another thing that bothered me Friday night was at the end, 2 of our players, I'm not going to say their names here, but they know who they are. They got too fiery. And I love when guys have fire. I love when guys show passion. Because if you aren't showing passion, if you all want to achieve the same thing, and you aren't being fiery and you aren't being passionate about what you're trying to achieve, then what are you doing here? That's how I feel. And I love seeing fire in our guys, but sometimes that fire can get a little too fiery. It can get too out of control. And I saw that. And it was to a point where to me, it felt like it got far too personal. And we can't have that. We can't have it. We still gotta stay in the brotherhood. We still gotta stay fighting for one and another. So we gotta shore that up. Defense, we just have to play much better, guys. We have to play much better. I hoped coming into this game against Pike this week, and looking forward to Lawrence North, this could be a tune-up game where we could really work on things, get better, not have to work ourselves really hard. Because I'm telling you right now, Pike they are over. They are the worst team in our conference, but they were just in a battle with LC. Just in a battle with LC this past week. I think it was like 32-28, 30-28, something like that. Just in a battle with them. So, and we got to go to their place to face them. So we got to be prepared. They're going to be ready. They're looking at Warren as fresh meat on the line right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to throw everything at us that they possibly can to get this upset win over us, because that's what it would be. I think Pike hasn't beaten us since 2013, I believe, the year we won state. That's what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and everything in their power to get after us. And we can't allow that. We can't allow that at all. We have to play much better. We got to get to the quarterback. We're not getting to. I think I saw on stats we had 1 sack. I mean, Lee and Dev each had 10 plus tackles. Lee had 11. Dev had 10. We got to do better than that, guys. We got to do better than that. We have to do better than that. We got to get 3 or 4 sacks a game at minimum. We got to make it we got to make it miserable for the quarterback, running backs, offensive linemen, anybody on that line, anybody in the backfield. These guys had to look at our defensive line as they're coming up to it and saying, "My God, I got to block him again." Hey, guys, be ready for that freshman, J.J. Finch over there. Be ready for the sophomore, Damian Shanklin. Watch this nose guard, DJ Ward right here. Somebody got eyes on Cam Radford. That's what these guys must do every single week they face up and line up against us. In secondary, my guys, we had to be better. We have to be better. Have to be better. JoJo, Dev, y'all got to be much better yourselves. You got to be much better yourselves. Our 2-star Division I corners are not playing great football right now. I hate saying that because I feel like I'm being harsh on you guys, but it's the truth. It's the truth. We have to be better. I love you guys, and there's nobody else that's going to promote and support you guys harder and more vocally than me. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But I had to be honest. I had to be brutally honest with you guys. That's the reason why I was brutally honest with you guys last week. We have to be better. I want to see you guys be a much better team than what you guys currently are. We just have to play it. Marion didn't have a great game either. AD had a couple plays, had to scoop and what should have been a scoop and score, didn't. You gotta be better as well, my man. Come on now. I want you to play Warren Central football now. You're getting there. You're getting there. Sean made some great plays. I want you to continue to get better as well. And that's the thing, is like, I see we, as badly as we played, we were never really that bad. And it sounds weird saying that, but we made some great plays in there, made some great stops. We did some great things, and we still gave up 40 points. It's so crazy to me to say that. It's so crazy to me to say that. Maybe that just goes to show that deep down under all this that's happened, that's going on with our team right now, is a core of a team that really, truly is a contender. Or are we just pretenders right now? Pretenders or contenders? I want us to be a contender. We're playing like pretenders right now. So what are you going to do? Because after this week, we have LN at home, then we got Carmel at home. And if you thought, I thought LN might be a pushover as well, and they still might be. They still might be. I don't know. We'll see once I get a little look at them. They still might be. But they rolled up 50-plus on North Central last week. I think they laid a goose egg against Carmel. Carmel is a team that if we aren't ready and prepared and strapped up and ready to go on senior night here, then all you seniors will be mightily disappointed in how your season has gone so far. That's for sure, because they have another really good quarterback, 2 really good wide receivers, and they definitely know to put the ball in the air. They've really embarrassed us. Each of the last 3 times we faced Carmel since we beat them in the state championship game in 2018 has been a game we've lost by 3 scores. We got shut out like 28-0, 30-something in 2019. I want to say we lost by 3 scores in 2020. Last year, I believe the score was 27-7. I always say you want to see how really great your program is. Beating the LCs and the LNs and the Pikes and the North Central is great. That's great. That should be the floor. The bar is how are you going to do against the Center Groves, the Ben Davises, the Carmels. How are you going to do against those teams? Right now, we're 0-2. Right now, we are 0-2 and started off against Center Grove and lost by 9 points. Second key game we should have won, lost by 14. We're going in the wrong direction. We should be going down, going in the wrong direction. And if we don't come in against that, if we don't improve these next 2 weeks, when the Greyhounds roll in here, we'll be very, very sad. And I don't even want to talk about Christian brothers from Michigan. I don't even care about that. We're not Michigan, Missouri. I don't even care about that at the moment. What we have here is another turning point of our season, like a second turning point already. What are we going to do? Like I said, are we going to finally step up and become contenders and play like the Warren Central Warriors that we all truly know and feel like we are? Or are we going to be the team that we've put out on film the last 2 weeks? Team that turns the ball over, gives up big touchdowns, doesn't play hard, looks lost out there on the field. That team right there, you know what that team does? Gets embarrassed in the playoffs. You saw what happened last year. So it's all up to you guys. It's all up to you guys and what you want to do. What will you accept and what won't you accept? There was a guy by the name of Charles Knott, great friend. And I remember in 2004, we were playing Ben Davis in the regional championship game. And we're down, halftime. And he says he only wants soldiers out there on the field with him. He's a linebacker, defensive lineman, going back and forth. And he says he only wants soldiers out there on that field with him. If you ain't a soldier, don't come back on that field. Sure enough, we had soldiers out there on the second half. Soldiers brought it home. Got the win. One of the most important wins, playoff wins at not a state championship game in school history, in my eyes. So, like I said, contenders or pretenders? Which one will it be, boys? Which one will it be? Now, stay tuned. I have a great little interview I had with some people that are doing some great things for our Warren Warriors football alumni.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here live, halftime of the Ben Davis game. Actually, the game just kicked off, but I had to have told you guys about these great people that have done some great things with our program. I'm here with the people that are running the Alumni Club, the Warren Central Warriors Alumni Football Club. Its very first season is kicked off right here. I'm here with the president, Mackenzie Brown. Mackenzie, how's it been so far with the program and you running the club? How's this going for you so far?
So far, it's going really great. So far on the site, we have about 101 alums that have signed up.
That's amazing. That's great. That's great. Keep it up. Keep it up. So tell people that.
I'm gonna make you slide.
That's right.
Come on, Warriors.
So tell people, like, when they sign up, what does an alumni get when they sign up?
All right, so this is pretty much the end of the season because we only got 2 more home games left. So when you sign up and you're a football alum, you get to be on the end zone. You get credentials that we have here. You know, get your name on them. Some of our membership passes you get with a shirt, like what I have on because you're an alum.
Nice.
And then we actually have shirts on our site that only Warren Central can get.
Yeah, only certain people. So basically, you have exclusivity.
Yes.
And shirts. Okay, exclusives. All right. And so you're the president. We're here with the secretary, and then Amanda. So, how's it been for you so far doing all this?
It's been really great. The passion that Warren has that's around it makes it really easy to just kind of feed into. As soon as people know we're out here, they want to be a part of it. They want to help the kids. They love that it's volunteer ran, that it's funded by different organizations in the community members, and former actual alumni. So they just want to be a part of it. They want us the kids to see because, I mean, Warren means something to everybody that's here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I saw originally we have tier levels, and that's also available to purchase, correct?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
Because it's the end of the season, so we have the regular membership.
Okay.
That would give you the credentials, and then you also get on the end zone. Next year, the new season, we're going hard on marketing for next year. We will have at least 3 to 4 different packages, and we're also still looking for sponsors. Like we said, we're volunteers, so all of our proceeds going back into the program from Little League to high school.
I love it. Well, I definitely love the direction you guys have taken this so far and taking it upon yourselves. A lot of programs have something like this, but I know we're going to be the best eventually when it starts. Last week, we have the food out here. Food's already put up for this game. So, hey, you guys continue to do great. I know Kyle probably scared you about, how you doing. That's right. You ladies look lovely. And let's go Warriors, right? Hey, I'm telling you, this game right here is a great one. And, hey, I got more coming for you guys. Stay tuned.
Great stuff, Mackenzie. And hey, guys, look, I know we only have 2 home games left, but please get out there, buy packages to support this great club. I know a lot of people have been asking for something like this. We finally got it. We're getting it off the ground. We've had people buy and support. We need more of it. We need more of it. We need more of it. I want to see this alumni club be the biggest and best that there is in the city, in the state eventually. Because nobody does things like this in areas and communities for their guys. And we need to take care of our own. That's the reason why I love seeing so many of our Warrior legends coming back. I love seeing those guys coming back to games, talking to the team. I love them giving back because they were just in that spot themselves. And that's why I want to see as many of you guys do at home. So please, here's the link right there. Here's the code. Hey, I'm just glad we have something like this going to help our kids out. It's going to be so good for them moving forward. Looking forward to seeing what the future holds for them, especially. Now let's move on. Talk about our guys in college, and let's see here. I talk about this guy all the time, and Michael Tutsi and his North Dakota State Bison traveled to Arizona this past week, and in a battle with the Wildcats, man, ended up coming up short, 31-28. Michael and his defense probably played their worst game as a defense in spring season of last year, maybe 1 or 2 games last year, the year when they won that championship. But it wasn't something to write home about. They played well offensively. Just didn't get it. They didn't get enough. Lost 31-28. Michael himself had 4 tackles, made a couple plays. They'll get better. I know it stings for them because they're the FCS team that nobody ever schedules to play anymore because, they're the FCS team that's really, really good and will really, really beat you in your own place. And done so many times before against teams from wherever that anybody wants to schedule. So that's that. They play South Dakota this upcoming week. So best of luck to Michael and his Bison. Moving on, another FCS team, and it's so weird to see these guys win the game that they did. Ramir Elliott and the SIU Salukis. They come into the game 0-2, go to Northwestern. They were 0-2. They got blown out in their first game against Incarnate Word. Last week they lost by 3, but I think it was either Southeast Missouri State or Missouri State. And then they roll into Northwestern and beat Northwestern. Unbelievable. They roll into Northwestern and beat Northwestern. Incredible. I believe I saw somebody said that was the first FCS win for a team over a Power 5 conference team so far this college season. Great win for Ramir and his team. Ramir had 4 catches for 18 yards. They didn't run him that much. He only had 5 yards rushing. So it is what it is. Hey, I'm sure he's happy to get that win. Huge program win for those guys over there. Going to my guys at Wabash, all right. They had a big 48-14 win over the College of Worcester. Derek Allen continued his great start to the season. 5 catches for 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Quinn Scholar had his 3rd straight start on the offensive line, so best of luck to those guys. Great win. They play I think they play Denison this week. I'm not sure if it's at Denison though. Let's see here. Very disappointing to see this team lose this week, but Julius Brents, Juju, him and his Kansas State Wildcats took a bad loss to Tulane 17-10 this past weekend. That's not good. Juju had 3 tackles himself, but yeah, that's man, look, I gave them so much praise last week in their big win over Missouri. But, man, seeing them lose to the Green Wave of Tulane is not a good look. And they have Oklahoma this week at Oklahoma. Make that road trip to Norman. And, man, look, they better strap it up tight. Maybe they were looking forward, looking beyond this Tulane game, looking at Oklahoma. So, I don't know, whatever it is, they better find something to fix it because it's not going to be good if they don't get things going there. Moving on. Chirp, Ball State Cardinals got their first win of the season, 31-0 over Murray State. And my guy, Dean Tate, had 2 catches for 11 yards in that win. So good stuff for Dean. I know him and Dewan are up there. Dewan Eccles from last year's team up there doing some good things. So hopefully Ball State can be a team that can maybe sneak into maybe get 6 wins, get to a bowl game. Let's see how this rest of the season goes. They play Georgia Southern at Georgia Southern this week, and Georgia Southern is really good. They've put up some good points in games this year. So best of luck to Ball State Cardinals this week. And our guys at Grand Valley State, Damon Wesley and Therese Reed. Both of them were big contributors this past week, and a 66-7 victory for them over Lincoln. They face off against conference rival in Wayne State this upcoming Saturday, man. So best of luck to all of our guys this week playing college football. I feel like every week we have so many guys at the next level. I feel like I could have a 10-15 minute segment on this, but I'll just give you guys a little bit of update on some of our main guys. Guys are doing some really great things out there. So continue to be great, guys. Definitely love that you guys are doing so well this season, and continue to do it. Look forward on updating everybody else out there. All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Corey the Kid Smith. Just listen to and watch another great episode of True Warrior Football. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to this channel as well. Share it with all the rest of the Warrior legends out there that you know. And as always, Warrior Band, take us away.